What's up YouTube? Jeff back again here from High on Android and DopeTechDaily.com, and today we're going to take a look at the Huawei watch. I've been waiting for this one for quite a while. Finally got my hands on the Huawei watch, just got it in today, and pretty much everybody's already done an unboxing for this watch, so I'm going to do the unboxing, but of course you guys know I'm always trying to give you guys more, so I'm going to go ahead and give you a comparison to all the other smartwatches I own in terms of size. Obviously, it's Android Wear, so it's going to be the same sort of software experience as my LG Watch Urbane. Once I use it for a while, I can give you an idea of the usability, how it feels on wrist. But we can go ahead and get a look at some size comparisons today. So let's go ahead and get into the box, take a look at the presentation, and do exactly that. So I've got my unboxing knife here. With this one, I want to be a little careful because this is a really nice box. Definitely the nicest box that I've gotten an Android Wear device in. Now, an argument could be made that the Apple Watch box is similarly nice, but personally, I like the black packaging a little bit better. The Apple Watch, of course, came in a white box, so the end just comes right off, and then you can slide this right out, and you've got a nice looking jewelry box. Of course, there's the Huawei branding on there. I already showed you guys that. On the top, there's some Huawei branding, and then we also, on the bottom here, get a list of the specs. I wanted to show you guys. Of course, Bluetooth, Android Wear, Wi-Fi certified, all that type of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and put the shell part of the box to the side here. And then let's open up the jewelry looking, very beautiful, premium feeling box. This reminds me a lot of my Tissot watches, which are Swiss made watches that are really high end. If you open it up, right there, timeless design, smart within. It's very, very, very beautiful, premium looking packaging. Feels really good. Actually, the smell test, yeah, it actually smells. I'm sure it's, I don't know if it's, I highly doubt it's real leather, but it smells really, really good, really premium. Let's go ahead and take the watch out. It's resting here on a pillow, just like a traditional Swiss timepiece would be. So you can see here, if I can get that into focus, it's got some plastic around there. This is the all black model, stainless steel. That's the one I went with because I don't have an all black smartwatch. So set that to the side. Let me go ahead and take it off the pillow here. I guess I have to actually pull the plastic off there, and then we can take it out and sit it to the side. Of course, we're going to get back into that. Let's see what else. Set the pillow to the side as well. Let's see what else we get inside the box here. There's some lugs right here, which you might have seen if you saw another unboxing. That's just to pull it out. Put the pillow back in there so I can put it back in there whenever I'm not using it. In the bottom, you get some documentation. Again, all of this is super premium, feels really nice, feels like an actual jewelry box that you might get a real Swiss watch in. Some documentation in here. Of course, it's pretty standard stuff. Let's just check and see. It should be in English. I saw an unboxing where it was in Chinese, but they had an international version. And yeah, it looks like, of course, this is the US version. I ordered this off Amazon, so you can see we get some English instructions, we get safety information, and we get a limited warranty. So that's nice. You get a 12-month, 1-year limited warranty on this. So I'll set that to the side for later. And then, of course, at the bottom, you get your charging cable. This is very similar to the Apple Watch. So you got some Huawei branding on there. Otherwise, this looks very, very similar, almost identical to the way the Apple Watch charges. This is magnetic. I'll talk more about that in a bit. And then, of course, what else but a standard charging brick right here. Doesn't even have any Huawei branding. Oh yeah, it does. Got some Huawei branding. The Huawei branding is actually right there on the charging brick. So let's just put all that to the side. All pretty standard stuff. Let's look at the watch itself. Let me go ahead and put the box. The presentation is beautiful, though. I'm really impressed with Huawei's presentation. Much better than the Moto 360. Much better than even the LG Watch Urbane. So let's look around the actual watch itself. The watch looks incredibly premium for a smartwatch. You can see this is the all black. It's got some nice notches here. The hour, I don't know if you guys can see that from the light. Looks very, very nice. The light, it's got some grooves right there around the bezel. Very nice looking screen, very premium feel, very heavy, very weighty in the hand. And of course, it's got up here the power button to turn that on. Let me go ahead and just loosen the fly closure there. And then on the back here, there's probably a piece of plastic. There is. We'll go ahead and peel that off. Piece of plastic right there. And of course, right there is where your charging magnetic charging cable is going to go ahead and attach so you can charge it up. Overall, I like the clasp a lot too as well. It's very nice. I wanted to go ahead and show you my first comparison. You guys see I got the Apple Watch on today. But the first comparison I wanted to show you guys, I mentioned that I have a few Tissot watches. And you guys probably saw those if you saw my Apple Watch unboxing. Here are my Tissot watches. I don't actually wear them all that much, to be honest, now that I've gotten to smartwatches. But these are my two Tissot watches. I wear these sort of to more fancy functions where, you know, now I might wear the Huawei watch because it looks nice enough. But, you know, I don't really want, I mean, a Rolex is nice, but for me, I'd rather spend $5,000 on tech than on a Rolex. So these are nice Swiss-made watches you can get for $700 or $800, sometimes cheaper. But this is my favorite one. You can see compared to the size, the Huawei watch is a little bit bigger, the overall screen size. If you rested it, pretty much completely eclipses my Tissot watch. The Huawei watch is also a little bit heavier. It feels equally as premium. It's actually heavier than this Tissot watch. And the other Tissot watch I have is even smaller. It has a lighter frame overall. The Huawei watch is definitely heavier than that. And you can see again that if I put it on top, you can't even see the Tissot watch anymore. So if I put the Tissot watch side by side, overall the Huawei watch feels very premium, very comparable in quality to these Tissot timepieces that I have. So that's the comparison to a traditional watch. Let me go ahead and see if this thing has any power, see if we can just turn it on. I don't want to go through the entire pairing process, obviously, while we're, I don't want to go through the entire pairing process while we're sitting here doing the unboxing. So now I want to give you guys a few more size comparisons. The big one that a lot of people will be interested in, of course, is the Apple Watch. So here's the Apple Watch next to the Huawei watch. You can see they obviously have different form factors. There's my passcode there. They ask you to enter the passcode when you take it off. They obviously have different form factors. Of course, this is a squarish, roundish square. Kind of looks like a display on the wrist, where the Huawei watch is more refined. It has more of a nice premium actual watch design. You guys saw the comparison to the Tissot. But overall, the Apple Watch does feel very premium as well. It has a nice weight. It is a lot lighter. The Huawei watch is heavier, which I actually kind of like my watch to feel more substantial on my wrist. In terms of the display, we'll take a look in a second once it boots up. The Apple Watch has an excellent display. Of course, it's got the sapphire crystal. I have the Apple Watch stainless steel edition, as you guys can see. But in terms of size, they're pretty comparable. They're different form factors. The Huawei watch is probably a little bit bigger, but again, not the same shape. While it's booting up, let me grab my LG Watch Urbane. Actually, let me turn it on to have it boot up as well. So the LG Watch Urbane right here versus, put the Apple Watch out of the way here. The LG Watch Urbane versus the Huawei watch. So the LG Watch Urbane is actually the one round watch that can sort of compete with the Huawei watch on size. Still haven't seen the Moto 360 second gen, the 46 millimeter. I'll have that coming in. But you can see these are pretty similar. And actually, if we look at the thickness, they're also pretty comparable. I guess the Huawei watch is a little thicker, but because of the lugs are pretty big on the LG Watch Urbane, you can see it's comparable in size. So if I sit the Huawei watch sort of closer next to it, you can see these pretty much have similar radii and diameter in terms of the circle that's on there. And of course, they both have full circular display, unlike the Moto 360, which has that flat tire at the bottom, which I'm not a huge fan of. Personally, just looking at them, obviously we're not looking at the same thing right now. The Huawei watch display does look a little crisper. Let's see if I can go through a little bit. It asked me to connect to a power source, so I'll have to go through and set this up, obviously. But the display and the text on here looks crazy crisp, even compared to the LG Watch Urbane, which I really have been loving. So overall, the display looks great so far. And it looks like, oh, it looks like I can pair it. Let's see if we can pair it to a phone while we're here and just get it set up. So let me see if I can go in here and get Android Wear going. I guess I don't have Android Wear on this phone though. If we go in and grab Android Wear, we can try to set it up really quick and see if we can see a few of these watch faces. So go ahead and download that in the Moto X Pure. And again, while we're waiting, like I said, the text on here is looking a little bit sharper, in my opinion, than the LG Watch Urbane. I mean, they both look really, really nice. They're both really high quality displays, but the LG Watch Urbane, again, a little bit bigger. So one last watch I want to show you guys while the Android Wear is downloading. Looks like it's already downloaded. So I'll go ahead and open that and see if we can pair it up. The other watch I wanted to show you guys is the Galaxy Gear S, which is an incredibly large smartwatch, but it also has amazing battery life. So let me go ahead and continue the pairing process over there while we look at the Galaxy Gear S versus the Huawei watch. You guys can see right here, the Galaxy Gear S is huge. So the Huawei watch has a pretty big screen, it's pretty substantial, but it doesn't compare at all in size to the Gear S, of course. You got this 2-inch curved display. Also in thickness, the Gear S is still much thicker, but this thing literally looks like a display on your wrist. The one thing I will say is the Gear S has amazing battery life, so I'll be monitoring the Huawei watch to see if I can get great battery life. The one bad thing about my LG Watch Urbane, this thing maybe gets me through a day, whereas the Gear S, I can get through 2 days, sometimes 2.5 days with the Gear S on battery. So we'll be monitoring that closely with the Huawei watch. Let's see if we can go ahead and pair with the watch here and see if we can maybe take a look at some of these watch faces. So I got the Huawei watch there, and it should pair up with my Moto X Pure Edition here. So if you guys haven't checked out the Moto X Pure Edition video, go check it out. Looks like it's paired right up, and it's going to take a second to update. So of course it's going to be the same version of Android Wear. I just wanted to see if I can show you guys a few of the watch faces. It's going to ask me to explore my new watch, and I'm just going to skip that, and we'll enable notifications and Android Wear. Okay, and of course I exited out of the app. So let me go back into the app really quick. And there we go. So there's the Huawei watch. It's syncing up to my phone, so it's going to take a second to sync up. So while it's syncing, I'm actually going to go ahead and stop the video. I'll come back in just a second. I'll show you guys some of the watch faces. So stay tuned. We'll go ahead and take a look at those. All right, YouTube, we're back. Now I went ahead and set up the Huawei watch. I want to show you guys some of the watch faces. There's already a system update downloaded. If you guys can see that right there. It's asking me to swipe left to install the system update. So I'm going to have to do that. But just take a look at a few of these beautiful watch faces. If you take a look there, it's got this nice blue watch face. The hands on here look amazingly real. The screen is incredibly crisp. The overall PPI on this thing is just amazing. The overall resolution, it actually looks quite a bit better in my opinion than the LG Watch Urbane. I'll have to obviously look a little closer. Let's go ahead and take a look at a few other watch faces. So I'm hold it down there. Let's see what else they got. We've got the modern watch face there. This is one of the ones that comes pre-installed, I think, on the silver metal with leather band. They've got the number hands watch face, which is a simple, clean watch face. A lot of nice, of course, you can get a lot of watch faces from the Google Play Store, but they've got a lot of nice watch faces on here that are pre-installed. And there's just a ton of them. Roman, these are some of the nicer, sort of classy watch faces. So a lot of these look really, really nice. My first impressions of the Huawei watch, it's a very, very impressive device. This is a $450 smartwatch though, so obviously if you spend $450 on a smartwatch, you expect to get a premium device. That is a lot to spend on a smartwatch because you don't know how long it's going to be supported. But overall, I love Android Wear. The thing I'm most worried about, most curious about, is whether or not I'm going to get great battery life, because again, I use the Gear S still because this Gear S gets me 2 days, sometimes 2.5 days battery life. My LG Watch Urbane hasn't been able to do that. So of course I'm going to install the system update. As you guys can see, if I put this on the wrist, I was going to show you guys that too, but it's way too big. I need to take out some lugs. I do have the stuff to take out the lugs myself, but I'm going to head over to the mall later, so I'm just going to go by the jeweler over there, by Jared or Kay. I've bought watches from them, so they're happy to do it for me for free. You can see it's way too loose. Need to get some lugs taken out. So I'm going to wear this, of course, for the next few weeks, have a full review, and give you the full rundown on what I think about battery life, etc. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully you guys have been able to see the differences between all these watches. Of course, again, the prices. The LG Watch Urbane, you got that for $349. This is a $450 watch. Let me go ahead and put all my watches on the table here. We've got the Apple Watch. This one I paid $699 for. This is a stainless steel Apple Watch. The Gear S, I believe I paid $400 at Verizon when the Gear S came out. So this one, of course, you can get a lot cheaper now, but I think I paid about $400 when it came out. Got the Tissot watch. I think I paid about $400 for this watch. And the Tissot Blue watch, I think I paid about $600 or so for this watch. So overall, that's my collection, rotation of watches, smartwatches and otherwise right now. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. The Huawei watch gets my seal of approval for now. We're going to get a closer look at it. Obviously, I'll bring you guys my full review. You guys can follow me below in the link in the description to Google Plus and Twitter, Instagram. Check out news.high-on-android and dopetechdaily.com for great Android news and giveaways. Let me know if you guys have any questions on the Huawei watch, and I'll definitely get to them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.